All right, President Biden landing in Wayne County, Michigan just moments ago, meeting right there with UAW President Shawn Fain. He is set to join striking auto workers on the picket line just a little while from now. He's there, by the way, at the same time that we learn that Ford is going to pause its work on a $3.5 billion EV battery plant in Michigan. Interesting. Power the Future founder and CEO Daniel Turner is here. You know, Ford says, look, it's just a pause in construction. But these auto companies, Daniel, they're in a difficult position. You know, they're being told and pushed by the government, you have to do this, you have to build these facilities. It's a huge investment. But as it stands, the number of people driving EVs continues to not be that high compared to normal gas-powered vehicles, right?
Yeah, despite how much effort the government makes to push this market, it's not working. And you can't force a product into the market faster than free people are willing to adopt it. And so there are enormous subsidies to purchase an EV. There are enormous subsidies for EV companies themselves. And that doesn't seem to change consumer habits. And you can see the consequence. EVs are stockpiling at a record rate. And their costs make them really cost prohibitive for your average consumer to buy them. So there's a big pickle that the Biden administration is stuck in, but it's a pickle of their own making because they've tinkered with these markets with a lot of their policies.
And one of the biggest reasons, other than price, and you're right, they're not cheap, they're expensive EVs, is the fact that this range anxiety. There's no infrastructure. We hear these horror stories of people trying to do basic, trips across a state and having to stop desperately to look for more power. Those kinds of stories really don't help the cause, do they?
No, they don't. And you can see this is a product that's made, like a lot of the green agenda, that's made for the urban community in mind. It's made for people who live in big cities. And I have nothing against EVs. They make sense if you live in that part of the world. But for people who live in rural America, for farm communities, they don't make a lot of sense, as Secretary of Energy Granholm found out the hard way a couple weeks ago when she tried to take an EV road trip. And so, again, the government's trying to force this product faster than the free markets are adopting it, and it's creating chaos.
Well, it's chaos, but it's the auto companies, to get back to them, who are having to shell out a lot, billions of dollars, for something that they're being told is the future, but isn't the future right now. That is for sure. We've already seen, I think in the UK, they've pushed back the dates now, the year when they want to, convert to EVs. Do you see some of that happening here in the US? These targets seem very unlikely to me to be able to be hit.
Yeah, well, the targets are arbitrary. The percentages, 70% of EV sales by 2035, I believe, is what the Biden administration wants. Those are just made up arbitrary political numbers. And when you try to achieve a political end, you have to implement it with force. And that's the kind of friction that we're seeing right now. We've polled this before. We did a poll that you can see on powerthefuture.com in New Jersey, where Governor Murphy is popular among New Jerseyites, but his EV mandate is not. Overwhelmingly, almost 60% oppose it because people don't like to be told what type of product they're allowed to own or purchase. And so, yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of restructuring of these targets.
Going to be talking about this a lot. Power the Future founder and CEO Daniel Turner. Daniel, thank you so much. Appreciate your time with us this afternoon. Thank you.